Hello everyone, I got this super cute layer cake, Harvest Wishes by Moda. I'll leave a link to that in the description box below, but I thought I would make a cute little pumpkin table runner with it. So I'm just going to open it up and pick a couple of pieces of fabric. So I've never seen this before when I bought in fabric, but it's like a little cutting guide in the back here. That's very interesting and I'll put that aside and keep that for later uses. So the pumpkins that I'm going to be making, they are going to be very simple, very basic. This is very beginner friendly. I probably could have just used scraps for it, but I really wanted to use this line. So I went through it and I picked out all the fabrics that I wanted for my pumpkins and for my stems. And I did pick a green foliage fabric because I figured maybe I would make some leaves on here, but I hadn't decided yet. So I'm going to make my pumpkin blocks here and I don't really have a pattern. I'm just going to kind of wing it and then I'm going to take notes as I go along. That way I can give you guys the measurements if everything turns out the way I'm hoping it'll turn out. So two of the pumpkins I'm cutting the same size. These are 8.5 by 6.5. But if you flip one like this, then you're going to have a taller pumpkin and one of a little bit shorter one. So I cut two smaller pieces as well for some smaller pumpkins. So I'm just going to get started on making these bigger pumpkins first and then we'll build around it. I picked two different fabrics for my stems. I did an orange one and then this teal or aqua color. This is the fabric that I chose for my leaf and as you can see it's not it's not going to look good. But I was just like, maybe once I have my sew and flips on there, it'll look better. And I figured I had already cut the piece and I had cut the pieces for the sew and flips. I might as well put it together and see what it looks like. Worst case scenario, I got to unpick it and change it. I wasn't sure what size these would need to be, so I cut them at 2-inch square and then I figured I would just go from there. And I cut them or ironed them in half, and then this way I could kind of see what it would look like. And I didn't like that. That was going to be way too narrow, so I ended up making those squares smaller because, well, you don't want such a skinny leaf. Well, I guess you could if you wanted to, but I didn't want to. So I cut much smaller squares for that. And then for my pumpkins, I cut 4 squares at 2-inch square. And these are going to be for all four of my corners. And that way we can get kind of that rounded look for a pumpkin because, well, you don't want this boxy look. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to take all of my little squares here and draw a diagonal line on the back side of all of them so that I can do my sew and flips. And then just take it all over to the sewing machine and do them all at the same time. And I apologize, I feel like this cold is never going away and I still sound all weird and wonky. But once I have those sewn on there, I will iron them and then I'll just come back to my cutting table and flip up those corners and then cut off the excess. And as you can see, that just, it's not working for me. I'm not liking that. I should have used a different green, but like I said, I just didn't have anything that I liked. But this is what you would be doing. You would just place it right sides together and then sew along there and then your pumpkin block would be done. So I'm just going to take that leaf portion off and then just put a background on there and not put any leaves on my pumpkins because that's fine too. But I think I definitely need to invest in some green fabrics for my stash so I don't have this issue. So this is what I ended up with, and I like this a lot better than with that other weird color there. If I had a nice green, I'm sure it would look really good and cute there. So this is going to be my next pumpkin, and it's the one using the same size pumpkin as the previous one, but just laying it in a different orientation. And just by changing the orientation of it, you're going to end up getting a totally different looking pumpkin. And I think it's nice to have some variations. So it's just going to be the same thing. Take the little squares, draw a diagonal line, and then line them up on the corners. And sew right along that line. And then we're going to just cut off the extras after we've pressed our corners over. And then we're going to have a nice little pumpkin again. And I did already sew my stem and my background pieces together because I always like taking whatever I can to the sewing machine and sewing it all at once. That way I'm not running back and forth from one station to the other and I get it done faster. So when you have directional fabric, you do need to make sure that you don't accidentally sew your stem on the bottom because then, well, your pumpkin's going to have upside down writing on it or whatever pattern you have on there. So then just take your stem unit and place it right sides together and sew with a 1/4 inch seam. And as you can see, I have these two done and I'm going to need another piece of background fabric there. But I'm going to add that once I'm done making my smaller pumpkins. And my smaller pumpkins are just going to be the exact same process, just different sizes. And like I said, I didn't have a pattern, so I just kind of cut squares of what looked good to me and then kind of figured out what I thought would look good. And I did have to make some changes and adjustments, but I did make all of those. And I did keep track of all of my measurements and I left them in the description box below. So if you would like to make this exactly the same way I did, all those measurements can be found below. But now we need to make these background pieces so that we can sew this all together and it'll be a nice one size piece. So I just cut my pieces there. That one was 8.5 by 2.5. And then my side ones for the shorter pumpkins or the smaller pumpkins, those were 4.5 by 5.5 and then 5.5 by 4.5. But like I said, all these measurements will be in the description box below. It's just easier than me trying to tell you as we go along. So we're just going to lay these right sides together and sew them together, and then I will add a little border around the outside or sashing, whatever you want to call it. And I use a 1/4 inch seam for everything. And as you can see, it's starting to come together. All I have left is the top and the bottom borders, and then this is going to be ready for some quilting. And to put these borders on, I do have my pieces cut to what the exact measurement should be, which was 27.5 inches by 2.5. But I'm just going to fold my whole little table runner in half and make a crease there with my just my fingers. And I'm going to do the same thing with my border fabric as well. Just going to fold it in half and then make a nice little crease. And I'm going to make sure that I line that up because that's going to be my center point. And then I'm going to be pinning these in place because I do want to make sure that everything's going to line up nicely. So I will start at the center of my table runner and place a pin right where I put those creases in. And that way I know that's the exact center. And then I will line up my corners and my edges there and make sure that that is all accurate. And then once I have done those, then I'm going to go to the center point between the corner pin and the center pin. That way everything's going to line up. So I have my little sandwich all layered out here. I have my backing and then my batting. Then I haven't put any pins in here yet. I'm first going to mark all of my quilting lines. And I'm doing this just with masking tape and my ruler, and then using a pen to mark little arrows so that I know which side of my tape I'm supposed to be sewing. And that's just the way I do it. I thought about trying something new and maybe do some free motion quilting with my new machine, but I was just like, meh, maybe try that off camera first before I go and wreck a project and just use some scraps to practice with. But I will definitely be trying that and keeping you guys updated on that, how that goes. And then once I'm done sewing all of these lines, I'm just going to turn my tape and then make it so that it's like a crosshatch. All of my quilting lines are about 2 inches apart. I'm saying about because, yeah, I try to be accurate, but sometimes that doesn't happen. Once I have it all quilted, I'm going to just square this up and then I'm going to be ready for some binding. I have not chosen my binding yet. I will have to go through my stash and see what I have and what I like that will go with this. But this is what it looks like, and I really like this. I kind of wish I would have maybe done a little bit more fancy quilting on the pumpkins, but maybe next time. Maybe I'll do another project and see how that goes. But I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for stopping by, and until next time.